Are you aspiring to be an artist? Are you aspiring to become great at illustrating and drawing? Well, I just want to warn you about a killer to your art and your creativity today in this video that is labeled where I'm going to tell you about comparison, the art killer. Okay, so first of all, don't lose hope. You're going to become a great artist if you just focus on what makes you unique. And I'm going to tell you today about how you can improve this in this video while I'm drawing a nice artwork that fits the theme. Anyways, and I just quickly want to tell you the full version of this artwork is available. My whole process is available on my Patreon, and you can subscribe to my YouTube channel if you're watching this here, and also follow me on Instagram to see what I'm up to. And then I'm gonna go over to the drawing board and let's dive into this topic. Comparison isn't just a bad thing. There's some good elements to it, but today I'm hopefully gonna help you steer through the sea of creativity and awesome ideas that you find online, and I'm gonna help you find the artist that you're always meant to. I'm gonna help you find the artist within you that is longing to come out and create the art that only you can, the way that you can. Okay guys, so as I mentioned, you are a unique artist. You have something special inside of you. You have this talent for a reason. I know there's people that don't believe talent is a real thing, but not everyone can do what you do, and not everyone can do it the way you do. And if you go read up on the origin of talents, you'll see it's not about having this wonderful skill that you just get bestowed upon you magically. It's something that you get based on your interests and the way that you pursue it. And in the original story, there's a Bible story that says the talents that you received, three servants received the talents, and two of them made something with it and the others didn't. So this is just an interest or a basic skill that you've received. That's why we call it a talent. And it's special. It's something that's within you, and it's your job to cultivate it and not conform to all these influences within you. So getting back to the topic, well, it's kind of part of the topic, but getting back to it, comparison can be an art killer, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because something happened to me a few years ago at the start of Instagram, when I started getting my art noticed and people started seeing my art, and I realized some things are getting more attention and other things are not. I instantly got exposed to so many artists out there, so many different ways, so many different things that I liked, that I was quite overwhelmed. And then I looked at like the big artists on social media and Instagram specifically, and then I saw, wow, they're getting this much attention, and how did they get so many followers? If only I can be as good as them, then people should like my art, right? I guess. Okay, so first of all, let's just look at how comparison can really kill your art. And this video should have almost been titled "Creativity is..." Oh man, I'm messing it up. Anyways, this video should have been titled "Comparison is a creativity killer." That means that your creativity, your will to create, really dies and it gets killed by this. So why do I call it an art killer? Let's look at it. Okay, first of all, it discourages you from creating. Many artists reach out to me that look at my content and they like, I'll never be as good as you, my art sucks. They look at other artists and they think that they'll never be able to reach that standard of art, and to be honest, I've felt like this in the past, where I look at what artists do, and even though I have my very unique way of doing things and my artwork, that's on a very, very awesome level if I look at my own stuff, and I just thought it's not good enough. It's not the way they do it. It's not the thing that gets all the likes and all the follows, and at the end of the day it really depressed me, and I didn't want to create anymore. So be careful for this, because if you're discouraged, if you're not feeling good enough, step away from social media. Step away from looking at all of these, the sea of artists that's online, the sea of artists that they create different stuff and how they create. Just step away from it, so you get your courage back and find yourself again. Your art, it really is like you're in a little boat and you're steering through this sea, and on this sea you're going to find many different things, but you must stay on course to go where you've intended to go, where you've always wanted to go with your art, the plan that you have with your art. Okay, now second reason it's an art killer, it tells you that you're not there yet. And as I just mentioned with the previous point, I've worked at that stage where I went through this phase. I've worked about 12 to 15 years on my art and developing my art and my style and all of that things. And then I was exposed to social media and seeing all these different artists, and I was amazed by what they could do. And all I could find was, I'm not there yet. I'm not at such a level, because look at all the social engagement they're getting. Look at how freely the art just flows. You get that feeling of the art flowing and all of those things, and it really challenged me, but it'll challenge you as well. And if you feel like this, that you're not there yet, don't stop. Please don't stop creating. If it's something that's burning in your heart, it's something that you feel that you must do, do not stop, because you look at all these amazing artists and what they've achieved and how their outcome is so unique. Don't stop. Go. Keep on creating. If the artwork you're working on now sucks, check it off, kick it out the door, do the next one. And if that one, don't marry that artwork, just go full out and don't stop, because you're gonna get there. You're gonna be unique and special in your own way, and that's just something that's a natural effect of the fact that you're continuing to create and becoming yourself. Okay, reason number 3 that I call it an art killer: comparison. It molds you into something not true to you and the way you're doing your art, or maybe it's an art style that's not really true to you. And this, you can maybe listen to my previous video where I talked about finding your art style with the Goku artwork. But if you compare yourself the whole time with other artists, you'll find that maybe there's people like, with my art profile, I find many artists that try to create exactly what I'm doing, and just because they see someone else doing it, they're comparing and they're trying to do exactly the way I'm doing it. I've seen very popular artist Loish, Louise van Baal, I hope I'm pronouncing her name right. She's very, very popular, one of the up there artists in the world. Very, very awesome art style, and there's so many impersonators, or not even impersonators, just people that copy her way of doing things. And you can see when you look at the art, it's like, okay, this looks like Loish, but it's not as good, and doesn't have that flowing factor to it. And that art just, it's gonna be what it's gonna be. It's not gonna grow beyond what Loish is doing, because they're just looking at what she's doing and trying to do the same thing. Okay, so don't go into something that you're not. I see lots of artists that draw, like they love drawing Dragon Ball Z, and they like drawing Pokemon, and you know, all kinds of fandoms, but they draw it exactly the way that it's on TV. And I'm not saying that's wrong, I'm just saying that add a spin to it. There's some awesome artists on that I see on Instagram that they draw Pokemon, but they draw it with art markers and they do time lapses, and that's what makes them unique. And artists that draw Dragon Ball Z, but they add like a nice spin to it. Maybe they make it more digital painted looking. And artists that I draw lots of wrestling fan art as well. There's lots of awesome wrestling fan artists out there, and you can see one I'm just thinking is, I hope I'm pronouncing him right, is Nolanium. He does like wrestler character art, but he does it in a comic book style, and that makes him unique because he's celebrating that fandom, but he's doing it in a way that feels right to the way his art goes, and that's something admirable. There's lots of examples out there like that. Don't just go into a mold that's not you, because you'll be unhappy and it'll kill your art, just because you're comparing yourself and not just letting your art flow. And if you stick to the end of the video, I'm going to tell you just how you can use comparison in a good way. But first, let's go on to reason number 4. It can depress you. Okay, the first reason was it discourages you, but this one is it can depress you. And we know that being depressed and mental health is a very important topic and a sensitive topic, so I just want to touch it lightly, because I'm not an expert on mental health itself. But if you go on with the first 3 reasons too long, if you're floating in that sea too long, it will get you to a point where your whole existence will be depressed, and this thing that once driven you, and this fire and this passion that was in you, is now all drained and put out, because you're spending too much time on social media and seeing why you're not good enough, that you're not there yet, and you're totally discouraged from doing anything at all. And we all know that if a person is not connected with their passion and their destiny, if I may, that depresses them. They totally. Let me just take out my earphones. We know that when you're not pursuing what you're meant to do, it depresses you, and I don't want anyone listening to this video, you specifically listening to this video, to go through that. So don't compare. I'll tell you how to compare soon. Okay, so hang in there. We know it's not a good place to be in, but hang in there, because in you is a reason you started before all this comparison stuff started, and that is worth it, because you are worth it, and you can do it. Hang in there. Reason number 5. Mambo number 5. Anyways, reason number 5. It can stop you. Well, this is similar to the depressed thing. It totally stops your art career from going anywhere. It stops your progress. It stops the possible projects that you can do. Not to mention even the single art pieces. It just stops you completely as an artist to live out the message and the reason you do art within you. Well, if you're happy with stopping art, cool. If it's not for you, cool. But if you know it's what you're meant to do, stop comparing, because it can kill your art. Okay, so that's the 5 reasons. I hope it makes sense. Please tell me in the comments if there's any reason I missed, or anything that I missed, or something that you can add. I would love to hear from you. And now let's delve into why comparison can be a good thing. Okay, now as I mentioned in the beginning of this video, that your art is like you're in this little boat on this vast ocean, and you're gonna see lots of cool things, lots of destinations, people on other boats, if I run this metaphor into the ground, sorry about that, but if your ship was set out on a specific journey to go to a specific point, then you can learn from all the things that you see around you, but you're still going where you're meant to go, if you know what I'm saying. So just to translate the metaphor, if you're on an art journey and you want to go, for example, work at a big animation studio, or develop characters for gaming, or go into children's book illustration, or animation, or mobile game development, whatever it is you're pursuing, comparison is a tool that empowers you. In the past, when I started drawing, I had to, like I mentioned in the previous video as well, like look at illustrations on an arcade game standing in a random shop just to see some cool art, or I had to buy magazines and how to draw manga books. I was big into those, and they were expensive, but that was the only way back then we could expose ourselves to awesome art. Now it's everywhere around the corner because of the internet, so that's a good thing. And what I'm trying to say is that this tool is now stronger than it ever was, at least in my experience from when I was in school and starting out my journey as an artist. And basically this tool can empower you to go where you're going. So the first thing that I want to tell you, when comparison is a good thing and when it's put to good use, I have some dogs barking in the background. Anyways, they're trying to teach you something as well. The first reason why comparison is a good thing is it teaches you. Okay, if you use it right, if you don't make it your identity or try to be someone else, and just keep going, not letting it stop you, it teaches you. So what I mean by this is you can look at one artist that you admire, and you can maybe see the way that they do their line art, or you can maybe see the way they use shape language when they're drawing characters, or the way they paint landscapes, and the list goes on. So you can take these little nuggets from other artists that you see online, this vast ocean of places and people and ways of doing things, and it can teach you. YouTube and Instagram and ArtStation and all of these nice websites are flooded with tutorials. They're flooded with art pieces done by other artists. There's comic book stores, there's games, there's movies, art of books from the movies. There's so many things that you can use that can teach you. If you think that the way you draw characters aren't good enough, delve into that. Go on this journey and say, I'm gonna need this to reach my destination, and I'm gonna find how to draw characters. I'm gonna improve that. And when you've looked at that, then you say, okay, maybe my shading and my lighting isn't good enough, the way I do it, I want to improve this. Now I'm going to look at some artists that do this well, and you're going to look at those nuggets and develop your art. So this is such an awesome thing that the internet empowers us to do a lot faster, but because of the quantity of influence, it sometimes reaches that point like you lose your identity. Okay, and the second reason why it's a good thing is because it can inspire you. Yes, maybe when you were young and you just had kindergarten drawings, and the things you were sort of you must have done for school, or it was like forced upon you, it was good because it did something for you. And then because of that you saw this amazing artist, or this animation in my case, or Dragon Ball Z, Pokemon, drawing manga books, awesome looking children's books, all of these things that excited me so much, and it can inspire you. Your journey has probably been inspired by someone that went before you, or that did this thing before you. Maybe it's a comic strip, or someone working in games that influences you, and this is an amazing thing to have. So let it inspire you. Remember, you are unique. You have a great talent in you that you have to develop, that you have to work hard for. It's something that's unique to you. No one else on the vast ocean of the internet is like you, and no one else is gonna draw like you, and no one else is gonna create the art with the message or the emotion or the color schemes or the line work. You can go into a long list here. No one can do it the way you do. So shape yourself, mold yourself, use comparison as a tool that teaches you and inspires you, because you've got what it takes. Hang in there. Now, let me just cool down. It feels like I was preaching. Apologies, but I want to help you and I want to see you succeed. And thanks for watching this video, and tell me how this changed your perception. Tell me what you're struggling with as an artist in the comments below, and I'll maybe make a video for you, or maybe I'll just reply in the comments. I would love to hear back from you. As I mentioned in the beginning of this video, you can support my art on Patreon. I have a $3 tier, a $5 fan art tier, and then a $7 tier to write my graphic novel. So please support me there. It would mean the world to me. And yeah, if you don't want to support me there, just come hang out, join my Instagram, follow me at Schink Art, and let's create some art together. Let's grow together, and let's become the artist that we were meant to be. Right, so I hope you enjoyed that drawing process, and I hope this advice helped you and served you. And remember, don't get lost in the sea of creativity and inspiration. Remember that you still have to have a boat, a metaphorical boat that is your art, the things that you create, and not just create for the fans and by the things you see, because then you're never going to reach your full potential. I hope this video served you. Remember to check me out on Patreon and follow me on Instagram, and we'll talk again real soon. Cheers guys.